This is Frenzy. He's this weird four-armed alien dude who appears in just one LEGO Space Play set from 2009, and he might just be one of the weirdest LEGO minifigures ever made. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the strangest, wackiest, and most bizarre minifigures ever produced by LEGO. These are the weirdest LEGO minifigures of all time.
If you see anything weird, report it immediately.
First up is M.O.D.O.K, and the first thing you'll notice is his strikingly large and unique purple pants. Seriously though, this guy's head is actually so huge, it could probably even rival Megamind. Like, what's he got hiding in there? A bowling ball? You may actually recognise this character from the most recent Ant-Man film, where he looked like this, and he has appeared in two different LEGO sets. The first is this Hulk Lab Smash set from 2014, where he's sitting in an oversized chair like a baby. The second time is this Avengers Helicarrier set from 2020, where he literally is the chair. My favourite is the first one because it looks so hilariously stupid and it's an actual minifigure, unlike the second one which is just a couch with a face. And next, let's take a look at this character Rio from Star Wars, who's this blue monkey looking guy with 4 arms. I guess he must have been considered too small to give him the Galidor style of 4 arms, so instead they just went, you know what, stuff it, let's just glue 2 regular arms together. And that's how we ended up with this wacky looking piece. He only shows up in one singular set in 2018, which is from the absolute cinematic masterpiece that is Solo, a Star Wars story. And I also find his face to be pretty funny. His eyes are super squinted and he's doing this real awkward smile, like he's feeling a little lightheaded, if you know what I mean. And if you wanted to get a pair of these special arms secondhand, you had to fork out an entire house deposit. Until 2023 that is, when they were recoloured in red and used on Stitch in the Disney 100 minifigure series. Yeah, this figure is weird. It's definitely in my favourite top 3 blue LEGO monkeys though. And next is a victim of an injury very akin to that of Tom and Jerry, because whilst M.O.D.O.K had a very large head, this guy has a very tall one. I'm of course talking about the Crazy Scientist from LEGO Minifigures Series 14. And the main thing about this minifigure is the fact that he has a ridiculously tall head. It literally looks like one of those yellow poles you see sticking out of the ground. And the cool part is you can still fit anything you want on it. Hats, hair, children. And you can also stick this piece on any other minifigure you want to make look like a cone head. And now moving on to this very weird looking thing that shouldn't even be here because it's not a minifigure, but I'll put it here anyway because I can. This is Spider Bites. Beates. Not actually sure how to pronounce it. Anyway, this guy looks like if a pear turned all black and mushy and grew tendrils out of its head. He's got this really goofy looking mouth and these weird printed arms. And he shows up in this one Ninja Turtles set from 2014. Apparently he's actually this mutated version of this bald dude that looks sort of like Bruce Willis.
Bruce?
Willis, yeah. I spent a lot of time in air ducts. I definitely don't live up here.
Interesting. And whilst we're on the topic of Ninja Turtles, let's talk about some more minifigures from the LEGO Ninja Turtles sets. Leatherhead and Dog Pound. Now these two minifigures depict an oversized alligator and an oversized dog, which both apparently skipped leg day. They both use standard minifigure legs, and then they use these wacky large torso pieces, which the arms are connected to by short bars. I don't think we've ever seen an animal this ridiculous looking in LEGO, before or since, except maybe Killer Croc from the LEGO Batman movie. And also from Ninja Turtles, there's this guy called Fish Face, who's basically like a cyborg fish. And then there's the Krang, who's this little brain with tentacles that you can put on minifigures' heads, similar to the ghosts from Ninjago. And these are all such crazy looking minifigures. They're so cool and unique that it makes me wish LEGO would make more mutated and deformed animals. And now let's take a look at Ninjago, which has so many different zany and quirky characters that I've just arbitrarily picked one group of them. And the group I've picked are the Sky Pirates, who are this weird wacky gang of different scoundrels. There's M.O.D.O.K, who is the leader of the group and he's this 4-armed djinn, which is basically a fancier sounding word for genie. Then there's Clancy, who is this green snake with a peg leg. I don't know which is weirder, the fact that a snake has arms and legs that can talk, or the fact that a snake is a pirate. Apparently neither in Ninjago, because snakes walk around all day and no one bats an eyelid. And then there's Doubloon, who has this creepy masked face which only has 2 expressions. He used to be just a regular guy, but he was caught stealing by M.O.D.O.K, who horrifically massacred his face and made it look like this. And then there's Dogshank, who also used to be a human, but then was turned into this huge orange thing by M.O.D.O.K. Actually, I'm not sure if her skin is orange, or if that's just an outfit to match the other Sky Pirates. Her skin is probably actually blue, like it's shown around her eyes, but who knows. And then there's Monkey Wrench, who is once again a regular human being. This time though, he got turned into a robot monkey by M.O.D.O.K. And finally, there's Flintlock, who is actually just a regular dude. This certainly is one of Ninjago's oddest groups of characters. And next, I wanted to talk about two very creepy sea creatures. Orca from the LEGO Batman movie, and the Hammerhead Warrior from LEGO Atlantis. And the reason that these minifigures is so terrifying is because they both have this huge face print, which is literally just an open gaping mouth. These guys honestly look like they could take on the biggest burger in the world with no sweat. And I might as well bring up the rest of the LEGO Atlantis minifigures whilst we're here. Most LEGO Atlantis minifigures are these weird sea creatures, which look strange, wacky, and just straight up terrifying. And I think one of the weirdest and creepiest is this Barracuda Guardian, who definitely looks like he's been doing his jawline training. And I also like the Lobster Guardian, who has these claw-shaped hands, and he looks like he's saying, "Oh!" You know how in the back of your grandma's cupboard, there's an ancient can of Nesquik with a picture of a bunny rabbit on it that looks like a lawsuit from Looney Tunes waiting to happen? Did you know LEGO actually made a minifigure of that rabbit? And this minifigure is all fine and dandy, until you take the mask piece off and find this absolute sleep paralysis demon from the darkest depths of the world. And I especially like how he has this smile on his face, as if to say, "Hey guys, see, look, it's all good, he's all happy under there." And next is this guy from Overwatch called Roadhog, and his name is pretty accurate because he's actually kind of thick, like, you know, he probably does take up the whole road. And this big fig is awesome. And it's actually probably LEGO's most detailed big fig. It's got all sorts of different moulding and colours on it. Like this very large belly that sticks out, and this print that says Road Rage, and this cool gas mask with a white ponytail. And he has one of the most cursed LEGO heads I've ever seen, which looks like it's been erased by Lord Business.
No more, Mr. Nice Guy!
And he only appears in one set from 2019, where he's riding this large trike on top of a sign. And finally, I wanted to give a shout out to the most weird and cursed, creepy looking LEGO minifigure ever made, which once again isn't even a minifigure. In fact, it doesn't resemble LEGO at all. I'm talking about the now infamous Nick from Galidor. I have no idea what kind of substances LEGO was taking when they designed this, or what psychopath they gave creative control to, but the end product is certainly something LEGO fans will never forget. And it's not just this one figure. There is a whole entire wave of absolute abominations and affronts to the eyes to be found with Galidor. Suffice to say, the atrocity that is LEGO Galidor was an absolute flop, and thankfully LEGO had enough brain cells to never attempt something like this again. And this two-headed minifigure is one I actually just custom made for the video, though you can actually get a two-headed minifigure in one Ninjago set. There you go, the weirdest LEGO minifigures of all time. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you would like to see part 2, let me know in the comments. Also let me know in the comments what your favourite weird minifigure is. That's been all for today, folks. Have a great day and see you next week.